good day, this 343rd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. That's right, we're just on these last few dozen days, and then we'll be concluding these meaningful moments. And I've really enjoyed having this opportunity, and between now and the full 365 days, I've been thinking about different pieces that are coming as important to share. And what I mean by that is that I'm feeling guided to be of service in this way. And so what came today for this meaningful moment was this. In keeping company of. In keeping company of can mean a lot of things to different people. But let's just take it from the perspective, and there are several levels of perception, of course, and we can look at perspectives from each of those levels of perceptions, from the physical to the emotional, to the mind, to the soul. But for today, we'll take it in the literal sense of who you keep company with. And there will be a lot of things, particularly nowadays with the push for consciousness and well-being in general, that'll advocate for being around positive energy and positive energy only. And, you know, those kinds of hashtags that are hashtag positive vibes only. And there'll be a lot that will advocate for walking away, moving away from people that are negative, and how to build your circle around you and sustain it around you. And that is true on one level of perception and on one state of consciousness. Sometimes as we're building and developing ourselves, it's important to create that support and that synergy and energy around us that allows us to cultivate perhaps positivity or other kinds of qualities that we're inwardly aspiring for in ourselves, particularly when we feel that we have to strengthen some areas of our own being, of our own soul, of our own character, of our own nature, of our own personality, those kinds of things. And of course we're influenced. We're all influenced all the time by everything around us. And you can benefit from being influenced, consciously choosing the things around you that can help to support you. And then there are other parts to that whole advocacy of building that positivity around you and positive people and positive circles all around you all the time. And that's that life presents itself with lots of opportunities to show us contrast and how that serves us and what we do with it. And in this way, we can find that things that are negatively charged allow us to cultivate other aspects of ourselves once particularly we have sustained a certain amount of positivity in ourselves that now influences that circle around us and shifts things that might otherwise have been negatively charged. And then there's another level that always bewildered me when I would hear these things in my own journey, which was about, you know, loved ones and family members and all those kinds of things. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that would be proponents of like, yeah, we'll just leave that person or walk away from them or be the hardcore parent and, you know, tough love and all that. Not saying anything against any of that here, because everything serves us. And I'll just preface everything I'm about to say with everything serves us. Every choice we make serves us. And ultimately, perhaps we even come to a place where we understand there is no right or wrong. There's just these experiences and this unfolding and unraveling of what we get to discover for ourselves. And perhaps it's all a matter of just getting to know who we are. So in this way, I would say some people stay in situations, abusive, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, for a period of time until they see that it no longer, or experience that they no longer need that and that it doesn't serve them. And once we break that triangle of disempowerment, be it that the role is the victim or the rescuer or the perpetrator, which we all have played those roles. But once we break that triangle of disempowerment and those key players that we selected to be part of that triangle or have been part of that triangle, because maybe when we selected it, we weren't conscious that we were selecting it. But when they no longer play that role, and we're no longer playing that role that we've assumed, then that triangle can't be sustained, and it collapses. And when it collapses, then we have this opening for new opportunities. And in this way, I think about the percentage of divorces, people coming together, separating, families broken apart, children and parents estranged at times, so many different ways that we disconnect, and that the idea that we just walk away from things that are troubling us, things that have afflicted us, things that we have been pained by or wounded by, is the way out. Not always so. And even when we do walk away energetically, we still have to find our way into that space in ourselves to do the healing, because simply by walking away doesn't actually cut that cord that extends out to that timeline down the line with that wound with that individual. So we still have to do that work in some way. But for those of you that may be on a path of consciousness where you understand your ability to transform, where you understand what you're transforming, and you do have valuable relationships where you love that individual, be it a son, a daughter, a parent, a spouse, a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, whomever that is, perhaps these words will help you to understand that we all must know our boundaries. We all must know that we ultimately perceive our own projections, and that as we heal everything in and around us. So every moment that we give towards our healing, towards our wholeness, we are putting that energy into not just our field, but into the collective field of energy and consciousness, and helping to transform everything around us. But it happens only when we really know who we are. And in this way, it may be very effective to hold that peace. Perhaps you are that peace that's part of that transformation. So again, not advocating for what to do, what not to do. That's something that is an individual decision. But knowing that there isn't a wrong or a right, that everything plays itself out until it has served its purpose, until we have gained whatever it is that we were learning from that experience. And then we can move on to other things. And sometimes moving on doesn't necessarily mean the leaving of something, or, well, there's always letting go, but sometimes it just means an expansion of something. And perhaps that's another way to perceive the letting go, and to step further into who we are becoming, and who the other is becoming, and who we all are becoming in this meaningful moment, keeping company with you. Aho.